How to mess up a PC running Windows 7. Okay, so for my PC class I have to find 3 hacks that would mess up the lab's PC. Me and my partner are going to mess up the PC and then another team will try to fix it. The system on it is Windows 7. Anything that would stop the normal use or render the PC useless works. The conditions. Can't open the case. Can't use the registry settings, due to how big it is, it would take the other team a long time to fix. Needs to be fixable, meaning, nothing that would mess that bad so it would require an reinstall, within 15 to 30 minutes, by my teacher, preferably not by the other team's smile. Can use the administrative tools. No downloads, PC is not even connected to a network. Note, stuff like create a fake, unclickable desktop by taking the desktop screenshot and setting it as a background won't work, as this has been discussed already. Also creating a reboot link and putting it in the auto start programs has been discussed. But anything of this type would be great to hear. Any suggestions? P.S. This is really for my college class, so no harm here, just pure lab fun smile. Added after edit. First would like to thank everybody for the input, some great ideas here. To clarify some things. I have the admin account. It needs to be done in about 15 minutes, it needs to be able to be fixed in 15 to 30 minutes. Can't connect it to any network, since it's a lab PC and the college wouldn't allow them. At Bill Air, yes, our teacher is a hacker at heart smile. Oh, and by the way, I don't think we are allowed to boot from another media, or mess with the BIOS, it is a desktop systems administration class, and everything needs to be done inside Windows. I'll ask and see if we're allowed, if yes, then I can use some ideas from here. Thank again to everybody. Edit 2. Let's try a different angle. How about disabling some non-vital services which will cause some annoyance? The main point, it needs to be a pain right from the start of using the PC, not in the long-term use. Wow, my head is spinning some ideas from here, great, we'll let you know tonight what I used. Moderator note, if you suggest ways to disable/break the computer, please include information on how to fix whatever it is you're breaking as well, if it is not immediately obvious. One-liner answers, that fail to explain how they work or what to do, will be converted to comments.
A few major problems for you. In BIOS, disable the processor's L2 cache, machine crawls. Windows plus break, advanced system settings, hardware tab, device manager, right-click disable mouse, make sure you can get here with just your keyboard so you can undo this. Control plus Alt plus arrow key, on some graphics cards this rotates the screen. Usually with no method of undoing this unless you know this shortcut. Make a floppy boot disk/USB key/CD-ROM, pop it in the floppy drive and ensure it's set to first in the boot order in BIOS. Bonus points for removing the HDD from boot list and creating all 3 boot disks with a different OS on each so they fix one then get the next. Use a partitioning tool to shrink the HDD partition to a few MB more than is currently in use. Do the opposite and fill up available space with multiple copies of large files. Combined with a startup script to start the copies would keep the hard drive filled if they first attempted cleanup by deleting files. And a few irritations to garnish the PC with. If it had internet access, open Internet Properties, Connections tab, LAN settings, check user proxy server, set the address to 127.0.0.1, prevents them Googling for solutions, p. Right-click on desktop, view, uncheck show desktop icons, irritating but not tough to fix. Sticky tape on the bottom of the mouse can disrupt the laser, stopping the mouse working. Couple this with the major disabling of the mouse in Device Manager to add confusion. If the connectors are PS2, swap the mouse and keyboard. Obvious if you're used to hardware but passes a quick glance from a noob. In Word Office button, Word options, proofing, autocorrect options, and a few entries for common words. Subtlety is your friend, is, was the, te etc. 2K7 instructions but can be done by a different route in most versions. Reverse the steps to undo the problems and ask in comments if you have trouble. Edit, as we may have had our beastly BIOS tricks taken from us, here's a couple more Windows-based ones. Put the shutdown command into autoexec.bat command syntax here. You've talked about putting similar functionality in the startup folder, so this should confuse them by doing the same thing from a different spot. Fork bomb. Create a bat file containing the following text and make it run. Either call from autoexec.bat or drop the bat in startup folder. This will spawn huge numbers of processes until the machine grinds to a halt. The code is untested but looks viable.
Create a mouse cursor theme where the arrow tip is not at mouse position. This should be puzzling enough.
Change the keyboard layout to Dvorak or some other obscure non-English setting. They'll probably figure it out fairly quickly, but it will still be really obnoxious to fix. In advance, you can write down the key combinations needed to switch back.
Adjust the date/time format to include a funny string, often done by viruses. Fix, hard to find if you are unaware of these settings. Remove the string there. Move the .cpl items of C:\Windows\System32 elsewhere, thus disabling any control panels. Fix, search for those files. Probably look by last access/modified date. How to make this harder? Put them in a zip file. Makes it harder to find them as it is a single entry. Alternative fix, run sfc/scannow, which should put those files back. Give them a black screen after logon by removing everyone from the permissions list. Don't recursively apply this though, but just change it that everyone doesn't apply to this folder anymore, but still all files and subdirectories. Fix, hard to know the cause, but you can simply give everyone the permission back in safe mode. Why does this happen? Because Windows often pokes your %system root%, most likely, see column, and if it doesn't have permissions for that, it will most likely not look further and stop instead.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.